So I wanted to make a quick video talking about what various options exist if you're an accountant, bookkeeper, CPA, or other tax advisor who's looking to help your clients with sales tax. So I really see there being three broad options. The first option is to simply refer your client to a sales tax software and have them navigate it and figure out, how to do it on their own. The second is tackling sales tax in-house and creating some sort of service offering of your own that you're offering to clients. And the third is outsourcing all of the work to a sales tax partner like TaxValet. So let's talk about what the potential pitfalls are for recommending your clients go and use software and do it themselves, and also the pitfalls of tackling sales tax software in-house. So when it comes to simply just recommending your clients go use a software app, one of the things you need to understand is that your reputation is on the line. Anytime that you are referring someone to go use some tool or something, if you're saying, hey, we've had some success with this, or we think that you should use this, and they end up having a bad experience, that's going to reflect poorly on you. Another thing to consider is that the software is never going to do everything that the client needs. There's just so many things that it can't do, it never will do. I mean, audits, nexus reviews, permit registrations, managing tax settings, getting all the data all cleaned up for the filing software to use. I mean, I could go on, but the software is not going to take care of everything. So if the software doesn't take care of everything and your client has a question, who are they going to turn to? They're going to turn to their accountant. They're going to turn to you. So even if you're trying to keep your hands off of sales tax entirely because you just don't want to deal with it and you're referring your clients out to use an app, you still might not get what you want because they still might be coming back to you and asking questions, and you might need to get in the middle of it, and you might be playing middleman with the support rep. Another thing is that if you refer your clients to go and just purchase the software on their own, they're going to be paying a really high sticker price. And I think what many of our partners are so surprised about when they start working with us is that we're just we're more expensive than software, but not by that much. I mean, maybe like 30, 35% more than software, but they're getting 5 times as much. And so if you do not have some sort of corporate rate or something with the software and you're a reseller, then your clients are going to be paying sticker price, and it's going to end up being way, way more expensive than I think you might be realizing. So let's talk about if you're tackling sales tax in-house. If you're thinking about creating a maybe small department within your firm because you want to begin offering sales tax services to your clients. The first thing I want to say, and I say this with a lot of experience, is that it's really hard to make this profitable. Why is it hard to make this profitable? It's hard to make this profitable because you need to have all of the people trained who know how to do this work, and this work is extremely complex. There are really large workflows, complex workflows that you're going to need to figure out and then implement and integrate with the rest of your business. And it requires substantial oversight to make sure that things are being done correctly and that advice that's being provided is correct. Because this is a huge, huge risk for your business. If you are doing nexus reviews, for example, and you provide incorrect advice to a client, that could be literally hundreds of thousands of dollars in uncollected tax that now you could be responsible for because you gave bad advice to a client. So not only do you have all these complex systems and processes just for the ongoing work, there needs to be substantial oversight by someone who really understands the work and can make sure that whatever advice is being provided to the clients is good. And not only that, but you also need to have additional buffer for if an employee leaves, right? So whereas in order to do the work, maybe you only need 5 people to do the work, you might actually need to hire 7 or 8 in case someone leaves. And also, it's not like one person in the sales tax world is very easily movable from one role to another, because the person who's doing all the admin work, like the permit registrations and renewals and processing the mail, that's very, very different from the role that is doing nexus reviews and compiling handling the data and dealing with the tax settings. And that's very different from the person who's filing the returns. There is hypothetically a unicorn out there who can do everything related to sales tax, but they're going to be a lot more expensive because there's just a lot of experience that you need in this world in order to manage everything within sales tax. And so the way you get it to be more cost effective if you're creating your own practice is you specialize. Well, if you begin doing that, you now need to have backup roles. Why is this important? I have a friend of mine who owns an accounting firm, and I think it was something like 4 employees who were managing all of the sales tax for, I don't know, it was probably like 40 clients or so. I don't know the exact numbers, but over a span of 3 months, those 4 employees left for various different reasons. They were in a total crisis, like an absolute crisis, because if your entire department, which within a small business is gone and you have contracts that you're going to be managing sales tax for your clients, like what are you going to do, right? So this is why at TaxValet, we're meticulous about making sure that we have people who are like throughout our training pipeline. We have additional resources, we have extra capacity because people do come and go, right? Even though we're rated by courts as the number 6 best remote small business to work for in America, which like I'm so grateful for. Things happen, life circumstances change, and people leave companies. And we need to be able to bear that in the event that we lose resources. And are you prepared to do that? Can you do that? It's a really sticky challenge. So what are the pros and cons of sending your clients to work with software, just referring your clients to software versus working with a sales tax partner like TaxValet? Well, the first thing I'd say is that it's very simple and that it actually can work. It can be a good option if your clients are primarily super small. They have very simple workflows. They're selling on known channels like just Shopify, just Amazon. In those situations, just referring them out could be the best thing because likely they won't need a whole lot of ongoing support. But I think if you do this, you should still have a conversation about, hey, when stuff comes up, because it will, do you expect us to take care of it? Do you have someone else that you can turn to? I think that a con, though, of just referring someone to a software company is that they're just not going to get as much of a concierge support experience as they would if they were working with a sales tax partner. There's so many things that the software doesn't do. Processing mail, dealing with audits, voluntary disclosures, reviewing all the data, reviewing tax settings and collections. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. If they're using a tool, if they're using an app to do their sales tax, they are doing it themselves. They don't really know what they don't know. And ignorance is not bliss here because things are going to come up that they just can't handle and they're going to need additional help. So TaxValet is really known for providing that sort of more all-inclusive service where we're providing that additional support so that the client really gets all of their problems taken care of. Because if you have like one part of the sales tax equation figured out, but not all of it, it's kind of like trying to ride a bike with a wheel that's not perfectly round. You just got part of a perfectly round wheel. It's not going to feel too good. So what are the main pros and cons of creating like your own internal sales tax department compared to maybe partnering with a sales tax company like TaxValet? I would say is the pro is that you're able to create a more all-inclusive one-stop shop for your clients. So let's say you're doing bookkeeping and you're doing, income tax. Now you can provide sales tax services and you can just be that one-stop shop for everything accounting and tax related for your clients, which there's some appeal to that. And if you can do it right and you can figure out the scalability and the workflows and the processes and the hiring and training and everything we were talking about a few minutes ago, there's an opportunity that you can make some more money, and that's real. But the con is you are incurring a huge amount of risk doing this yourself. It's a huge amount of risk, especially compared to if you're just working with a partner. You just refer that client over to them. Your partner is now responsible for taking care of them. They're the ones who should have all of the insurance policies for if something goes wrong and are quadruple checking everything. Another thing I'll say is that creating your own sales tax department is extremely time consuming. Like it takes a ton of time. And if you're not taking a ton of time, doing it, then you're probably not doing the things you need to in order to mitigate and avoid all of the potential pitfalls and risks that come associated with doing this kind of work, because this work is complicated and risky. That's why no one wants to do it. It's hard to get right. It's hard to get profitable. But what if you could work with a sales tax partner that is actually going to help you be profitable on your sales tax services from day one? And that's exactly what we do with our partners. So we've got a short list of accounting, tax, CPA professionals where they will refer their clients to us. We work sort of embedded within their workflows, and we'll do revenue sharing. We will share a percentage of the client revenue that they refer over to us with our partner, because we know that it takes time in order to have these conversations with clients, and they're sort of in the relationship and they're investing time in it. And you can grow your practice without needing to figure out and take on all the risk and all the complexity of figuring sales tax out on your own. So if you're interested in learning more about what TaxValet has to offer, how our partnerships work, or you just want to have a conversation, check us out at thetaxvalet.com. And we've got a partner program page where you can learn more about us. And if this is something that you think is right for you, we'd love to have a conversation and learn more about you. Take care. Bye.